Peace and blessings, guys. And I know I was just talking and you guys couldn't hear me, so there was no audio. And I apologize. However, my name is SG1 from the Grammy Award winning team, The Peacemakers. For those of you who are in the team, you know who I am. That's fine. And for those of you who are watching this video later on, which was a live stream originally, we hope you enjoy it. And so we're going to delve right into this. We're going to talk about your music being stolen by major artists and what you can do about it. Now, in recent basically news, and it's not really recent news. I personally have known and heard of this for years now about musicians stealing other musicians' music, and a lot of time it happens with musicians who feel like this particular artist or musician doesn't necessarily have the celebritism or the fame yet that would really warrant them being exposed for stealing that other person's music. And I'll be honest with you guys, all right? I'm going to give an example, and by no means am I making accusations, okay? I'm only going to give you what has been put out there already and the facts involving one of my favorite artists, actually, man. I'm not going to lie, Drake. And that's going to be a great example for me, guys, to show you about accusations and what's going on. And again, how you can protect yourself, because it's always about protecting yourself, all right? Now, with that being said, for those who are new to the channel, I want to talk about what we do here at Music Millionaires. We are a Grammy Award winning team. We have been in the industry over 30 years. And what we try and do is basically teach you the ins and out of the music business, music millionaires, the industry elite, and tell you their secrets basically and how we got to where we are, which was by educating ourselves. Occasionally, we do delve into rumors and things of that nature, and also do some music, and we also listen to you guys' production and tell you how you can make it better. But for the most part, we really are into teaching you how to become better producers by protecting yourself, by knowing the music industry, which is how you're going to be successful, and that includes marketing. So if this is something that you're into, make sure that you subscribe after watching this if you haven't already subscribed. And for those who are watching this recorded, you definitely have to subscribe. All right. But however, I'm going to delve right in. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with what's been going on, what I want to do and what I would like to do is, let's see, um, I'm going to be giving you guys, I'm going to let you check this out yourself. How about that? What we'll do is we will play a skit, okay? I'm going to be playing a skit of what's recently been happening with when it comes to the whole Drake thing, and then let you guys basically come up with your own conclusions. However, let me do this the right way because I'm operating this myself. I'm going to be giving you guys. I'm gonna be giving you guys the skinny on. I think it's the, and I never could pronounce this guy's name the correct way. Extension or attention or whatever his name is. XXX and his beef with Drake recently. But however, tune in. Here it goes. You tell me what you think, and then I'm gonna talk to you about how you can protect yourself from situations just like this. All right, guys. So stay tuned and check this out. Way, because I'm operating this myself. I'm going to be giving you guys. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. That is actually, I am actually replaying what I'm doing. So that's not what I wanted to do. Let me go in here and find this real quick. So y'all got to hold up for me. Just hold up for a real quick. Let me get this again. All right, guys. So peace and blessings. I apologize. Audio is still working, and apologize about the transition. However, I did get the wrong video source incorrect, but this time I think I got it. And forgive for the audio. However, let's go.
Whack, whack to whack.
So big ups to Time Watch 5 who produced this video originally, and they're going to be pointing some great ideas. Man, I want you guys to check it out. You tell me what you think.
Can't keep my dick in my pants. My bitch don't love me no more. She kick me out of life, bro. That bitch don't wanna be friends. I give her dick, she a man. She put her 10 on my dick. Look at my wrist about 10. Just got a pound in the booth. Bought that shit straight to the booth. I'm doing 10 in a week. All of my been on the street. Dream about working my sleep. Okay, I got a life on the streets. Shout out to T to D. Hey, he brought it in cause of me. You don't know nothing about me. Life on my brothers is deep. Long as they on their feet. Long as they pockets is grease.
Might tell me what's really going on. Soldier boy up in this fine red. What's happening? And I'm ready with the dope. I gotta have a meal stashed in the studio.
I said, tell me what's really going on. Drizzy back up in this thing, I'm ready. What's happening? Gone for surgery, but now I'm back again. I like to touch out and relax in the bar, yeah. You used to call me on my cell phone. Late night when you need my love. Call me on my cell phone. Late night when you need my love. And I know when the hotline blink. I got a hoe named Real DeReal. She got a buddy named SP12. Now you know the deal. We get freaky in the studio late night. That's why the beats that you hear coming real tight. Something to roll to, something to stroll to. If you's a player in the game, this'll hold you. More money for the bankroll. Stick to the script, don't slip in the 9-4. A lot of fools put salt in the game to where these women get the notion that they running the game. Got a shorty named Texas Sin, she got a buddy named Young JB, and now you know the deal. We turned up in the studio late night. That's why the songs that you hear coming real tight. OVO crew, nigga, thought I told you. If you a player in the game, this should hold you. And man, shot my nigga game, he just rolled through. Eating crab out of Malibu and Nobu. A lot of fools putting salt in the game until these women get the notion that they running the game.
Old money, new women, gotta keep it bouncing. The girl of your dreams to me is probably not a challenge. I've been counting it out so many times I couldn't count it. Sauce dripping like water dripping from a fountain.
Old ways, new women, gotta keep a balance. The girl of your dreams to me is probably not a challenge. I've been counting it out so many times I couldn't count it. Funny how now my accountant is having trouble trying to count it.
I am a super duper trooper, used to the bottom, scuba. So I'm on the grind, skateboard or scooter, till I am the king of my castle, Cooper. Dawg, I took a shot in the dark in the industry of sharks that's surrounded by water, Cuba.
In your city, faded off the brown. Nino, she insists she got more class. We know, swimming in the money, come and find me. Nemo, if I was at the club, you know I balled. Chemo.
One thing about music, when it hit, you feel no pain. White folks that controls your brain, I know better than that. That's game, man, we ready for that. Two soldiers head of the pack. Matter of fact, who got it? And where my army at? Rather attack and not react. Back to beats, it don't reflect on how many records get sold on sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
One thing about music, when it hits you, feel no pain. And I swear I got it that make these go insane. So they tell me that they love me, I know better than that. It's just game, it's just what comes with the fame. And I'm ready for that, I'm just saying.
2013, he did an interview and he said these things, okay? He said, and by the way, I'm reading from a Rolling Stone article, came out today, but it's quoting an interview done 2
All right,
years ago.
guys.
He
So,
said, I was hungry. I was
that,
like, dude,
there you
take
are.
anything.
That is
And
a
pretty
prime
much
example.
they're
Let me
saying,
stop this in the background. That's a prime example, man, of artists stealing other artists' music and you not having a clue. Now, again, I I do like Drake's music. However, what I don't appreciate is, well, let's put it to you this way. When you are listening to your favorite artist and its music, his or her music, it's based on the assumption of their creativity and or ghostwriter's creativity. But when you have another artist that has actually put the music out, it's theirs, you know it's theirs, and then you take that artist's music and use your celebritism or your celebrity status to propel that music and make money off of it. And this artist is now ousted of not just possibly a hit song that could have went platinum later on down the line or a couple of years, because oftentimes new artists, it takes a lot longer to go platinum than it does for seasoned artists. However, that is the best example that I can give you. And again, big ups to Time Watch 5 for that video, which is where we got it from. Now, on the backside of that, you know what I mean, because it's always about pros and cons. I'm going to delve into a couple questions that are similar to what I just shared with you. And also I'm going to give you answers to how you can protect yourself. And of course, the number one answer I can give you guys is copywriting. Copywriting your music, okay? But it goes deeper than copywriting your music. And for those of you who are a part of the Music Millionaire site and you have membership there, you should see that link in the membership page that allows you to copyright your music basically for free. It protects you and your music from situations like this, because that's what has to happen at the end of the day. If your music is stolen, you have to be able to prove that claim. You have to be able to make that claim that I created this music first, and you have to be able to prove that you created that music first. And so copyrighting your music is one of the things that you definitely want to do. And if you don't have the resources or the money to send off to the US Copyright Office for each and every song or track that you do, then there's a valuable resource inside the Music Millionaires website that you can use that is 100% free, legitimate, and it works. It will substantiate your claim to your music. So if you haven't already, go over there and check that out, sign up and get it. Now, the other thing that I want you guys to think about, of course, outside of the obvious of copyrighting your music, is also timestamps in your computer, okay? Timestamps in your computer. When that music is created and when you create those session files are dated, stamped. Your machine or your particular computer ID is also attached to that particular track or that computer session or that session that you did, which is also protection for you guys. Because again, this is about protecting your music from artists who could possibly steal your music. All right. Now, of course, let me go backwards real quick. These artists that I just showed you on the video previously, I'm pretty sure they have put together some kind of litigation. I'm not for sure, but I would think because someone was able to pull up their music and prove that they produced this or released it first, that there would be or should be some kind of financial compensation for them. I don't know for sure, but if they've done their job and they did what they should have done, or their producer did what they were supposed to do, or whoever recorded them, or the studio that they were at, saved those session files, then they will be protected. Okay. But one thing that most producers don't and artists don't think about is the session files. And those session files, again, are fingerprinted with a time, date, stamp, and machine that you recorded it on. So most people don't know that, okay? So utilize that as a fact. Something else you can also do is upload your music to Google Drive or web servers where it will be stamped and dated to that upload time. Basically it will be time stamped when you uploaded it, when it was created. And not only Google Drive offers this service, but Amazon does as well. For those of you who have Amazon accounts, if you are an Amazon Prime member or just have an Amazon account, period, I think it's a free service to Amazon Prime members. I'm not sure if it's a free service to just regular subscribers. However, Amazon is another great way to timestamp and prove that it's your music, because at the end of the day, a court litigation will always be about proving you had it first, okay? And oftentimes it's not about who even created it first. It's about proving who did it first, because even something as a variation of the music can void a copyright claim. But when someone is stealing music, when they're stealing the lyrics, and they're going basically all in on all of the above, and you want to protect yourself, the two things that I just mentioned so far will definitely protect you again. I have some notes as well. Please, this is another example of why you should not send unsolicited material to record labels or your favorite artists. This is the best example ever why you don't send unsolicited material to an artist that is not copywritten, that has no connection or ties to you other than just your email that you sent over to them. Because contrary to what you believe, even though email is being used in courts these days to validate proof of you being used as proof, it has also been proven that emails, if you don't have the proper investigation involved, can be spoofed. So someone can go in and change the email date and time that it was sent to you, and then what that would require would be going through, court subpoenas and going through Google or whoever you're using to find the actual log that is held with the email server. But stop sending unsolicited material to artists in hopes that they're going to get you turned on, because this is what happens. And again, I can't validate and say that Drake stole all. Well, let me be honest. Okay, so yeah, you heard it for yourself. Let me not let you play the game and try to do all this protection shit. Okay, you heard it yourself. You heard the music that these artists did prior to Drake, and then you heard what Drake came in and did with their music. Basically, word for word or style, word and style, rhythm, everything was the same. So the point behind that, guys, is protect yourself, man. At the end of the day, protect yourself, because it's still about you eating. And if you're an up and coming producer or a struggling artist, and someone steals your music, and you see that it went platinum, or that they made a couple 100 million off of your music, that tells you what your potential worth is. But the point being, protect yourself. So let's revamp. Copyright your music. If you cannot copyright your music by sending the money to the U.S. Copyright and Patent Office, then utilize free services like the one we have in the Music Millionaires website. If you can't do that, then make sure that you have time dated and stamped music that proves when the music was created, when it was done, what machine it was done on, session files and things of that nature. If you don't have that capability, or don't understand how that works on your particular machine that you're using, then upload your music to a website or web server like Google Drive, Amazon, and et cetera, et cetera. Anything that will give proof of time, date, and who ownership, basically who did it. All right. So those are three things that you can do to stop that. Lastly, what you definitely need to do, once you can validate that your music is yours, much like those situations with those artists we just listened to that Drake stole their music, then you sue. I don't know no attorney that would not take on your case with all the evidence that you would have to say, this is my music. This dude here, Drake or whoever, stole my music. You know what I mean? And I need to sue. And I'm pretty sure it won't cost you anything, because the attorney's going to look at doing it possibly not pro bono, but they're going to do it out of their pocket. In other words, they're going to sue. They'll help you sue that particular artist because they know that they have a clear-cut case and they're going to get their money, and that, they're going to be compensated for whatever effort they put into. Now, again, unfortunately, this does happen. This is real, and for those of you who chimed in late, we played, well, I didn't get to the 10th example, but we did like 8 examples of artists like Drake stealing your music and then making millions of dollars of it, because they take advantage of you not having either the resources and or the marketing skills, which would still be resources, to promote your music. And so want you guys to really understand that this is real, it's tangible. You know what I mean? It's tangible. And it's tangible so much so that it's happening to artists like XXX You know what I mean? I can't never pronounce that boy's name the right way, or that man's name the right way. But it happens. So make sure you protect yourself. Now, let me go back, because I have my little notes from what someone was asking me. And so now, real quick, if you guys have any questions, make sure that you leave your questions in the comment section below, because this is a live chat, and during the live chat session or box. But if you're watching this video later on and it's pre-recorded, then leave your comments in the comment section and we'll do our best to answer it. And speaking of which, there was a particular question that someone asked pertaining to their PRO and registering with their PRO. All right, which was, if I have not created any content, is it good for one to register with a PRO? Again, this is a prime situation. If you are a producer or a musician and you plan on putting out music, then yes, register with a PRO, okay, if that's your plan. Some instances, like ASCAP, there's a charge. I'm unsure with BMI, and if you guys are with BMI, then you can chime in and tell me whether it's a charge with BMI or not. It's not something I actually research. But yes, register your music with the PRO. Now, again, this goes hand in hand as well with the copyright infringements and people stealing your music, because if you register your music and you know that you're going to publicize your music, and I don't care where it's at, if it's on YouTube, if it's on Twitch, if it's on SoundCloud, if it's on Spotify, whatever you're using to promote your music or you let people hear your music, you need to be registered with a PRO. You need to have that music copywritten in some way, fashion, or form, and or a reference to proof that it's your music, so that you can be compensated. And again, if you haven't already, remember the last video I did, I told you guys to register with SoundCloud, because SoundCloud will go and pick up those nickels and dimes from online streamers and things like that, that you can utilize to make money off of your music. So I hope I answered that question, whether you should register with a PRO. Something else, someone contacted us on Facebook. I don't want to say his name. However, this lines up pretty much the same when it comes to your music, and maybe not the copyright infringements and the blatant outright stealing of your music. But he contacted me about having music that he had placed on by a particular artist, and if I'm not mistaken, the publisher that he signed with, or whoever he used, or that artist published the music, he hasn't seen any royalties. And when he contacted them, basically they gave some half-ass excuse to why he didn't receive money, and what should he do. Now, if you're watching, this particular answer is for you. What do you do in a situation where you have music that has been, yes, Sound Exchange, BK Banger, I did mean Sound Exchange, and again, forgive me for those who are watching the pre-recorded message, I'm looking at the chat as well. What do you do in a situation as a producer where you have sold a track and you expected the artist and or record label or publisher to do right by you, and you're not receiving your royalties? And I think for one particular situation, he gave an example saying that when he went into his portal with his performing rights organization, the music wasn't listed for the artist that he had sold the music to, and that he knew that the music either had, I think, a video or it was being played. And he saw that it had I think, over 100,000 views or something of that nature, and I could be wrong, but he knew it was a substantial amount of numbers that the music had acquired interest, and that these people were doing shows and things like that. So situation is, how do he protect himself, and what should you do in those situations? Which is easy. Once you have the title of that song, the title of that particular song, you have the artist and who's performing it, you register it. You're responsible for you. Do not depend on publishers that you're not signed with, that has no obligation to you to do right by you, okay? Their obligation, if it's the artist's label, is to do right by the artist. Now, I'm not saying all or that record labels or publishers are corrupt or they're trying to hurt you or they won't do right by you. But what you have to do is you make sure that you protect yourself. And this is a part of that contractual agreement stuff that I talked about in a previous video, where you outline what should be done, how is it going to be done, how is the masters received, when is compensation coming, how do I get compensated, will you list the music with the PRO? Is it my responsibility to list the music with the PRO? These are things you need clear cut. And this particular guy's situation is a clear cut example of why you guys must empower yourselves and why we're doing what we're doing now. And I get tons of this, bro. I've seen this in the industry hands down all the time. People with these exact same situations that go down. So your job is to empower yourself, ask questions. Once you get the placement, once they know that they want your music and you know that, it hurts nothing for you just to ask questions. Matter of fact, if you don't ask questions, the more likely you are to be put in a bad situation, because then I know as a whoever that because you didn't ask these situations, and because you didn't get a contract, or because you just signed a contract and the contract may have been missing several stipulations that should just be basic, and you didn't catch it, then I know by automatically that you are an inexperienced producer. You know what I mean? It just won't be about your track record. I'll know because you didn't ask the right questions, or you didn't promote, or you didn't ask these things and put yourself in a position that for me to say, oh, hold on, I sent you the wrong contract. Because that's what they do, man. I'm prime example of that. That's what they do. If you don't ask the questions, you're basically not going to get fed. What they say, closed mouths don't get fed, and that's the best example. However, your repercussion, and I'll go back to what the answer for this brother that contacted me. Your repercussion, what you can do, shall I say, what your options are, is to file it with your PRO. Okay, file the music with your PRO. Contact the record label and or the artist directly, or their manager. Ask why it wasn't filed with the PRO. Find out. Get an accounting request, meaning how many spins, what it generated, what platforms they're using it on. All these things are your right as a producer. Find out where your music is being played on, and so that way you can know how you're going to get paid, and you can pretty much guesstimate what you're going to get paid based on the royalty percentages of that particular platform. So you do have options. The only thing is just utilizing your options. Now, the last option in a situation like that, of course, and there's so many different things I can tell you can do, but the core behind what you should be doing is going back, backtracking, contacting all the necessary people to get this thing rectified. And if you feel like it's worth it from that standpoint, then contact you an attorney, so that that attorney can represent you, and that attorney will then do an audit on this particular publisher and or record label, and or sue for basically taking advantage of you or breach of contract. And that will be pertinent, because hopefully you have a contract in place, some form of contract that identifies that particular work, musical composition and work for hire that you did. Okay, so make sure you do that. All right. Now, as usual, want to give a big shout out to the tribe, BK Bangers, DLR Music, Zach Billings, Chris Knox, all of the family that is a part of the team that makes us who we are, that's working hard for you guys. They're putting out YouTube videos, they're getting placements, they're doing their thing. I want to give a shout out to all you guys that I call family and friends and peacemakers. And by the way, if you've been trying to call me on my phone just crashed. I got a big HTC phones, and it just crashed. Like literally, it just won't do nothing, man. So I got to get a new phone. So if you've been calling me, I haven't blocked anybody, and I didn't change my number yet. But that's what happened. Make sure you email me if you have any questions. And as always, I got to plug the website. For those of you who have not yet subscribed to Music Millionaires, make sure you subscribe to musicmillionaires.com, where we have a ton of contracts for you guys to teach you and how you do it. We got videos on there. We also got the copyright links. We got marketing, subscription, backlinks, all these things that we are working and developing even more for you guys. So make sure you go to musicmillionaires.com, sign up, become a member, join the Peacemakers, and so that you can better your music career and be ahead of the learning curve before you get put in a position where you need to know this information and you're trying to crunch all this information at one time in your head. Okay? All right. So K on strings 313, thank you so much. You said that BMI is free. Appreciate you guys going back. Was unsure to whether BMI charged or did charge or didn't charge like ASCAP does. And so I asked one of you guys to find out and let me know in the chat, and you did. So big ups to K on strings 313 for letting me know that BMI is free. And the rest of you guys now know, who is watching this pre-recorded video and live video at the same time, that BMI is free. And so you can choose between ASCAP and BMI, and also see what is the advantage behind paying for joining a society of songwriters like ASCAP versus going on for free with BMI. Let me know, send me an email and tell me what happened with that. And while I'm talking about this, of course, guys, if you have any questions, make sure to to ask any questions that you have inside of the chat, and I'll get your answers before we get off of this and try to give you answers to the best of my ability. Now, again, I always have to do a disclaimer, okay? What we're doing here is not intended to be considered legal advice, all right? This is my own personal experience, and most of what I'm telling you, you can find online, and you can research for yourself. That's what this is all about. I told you, each one teach one, but also read it for yourself, because I don't never want you to believe me. I want you to find out for yourself, see it for yourself, because then comprehension and understanding comes from reading it and then referencing and then figuring out what's what and interpreting it your way. But if you are ever in doubt of anything, and you can afford it, get you an attorney, guys, plain and simple. Please get you an attorney, and then figure out which way to go from there. All right, and there's plenty of attorneys out there that's not expensive. You know, you don't have to get the most expensive attorney, but make sure you get an attorney that is qualified in the music industry and has or has studied the music industry, and this is a part of their thing, you know, copyrights and things of that nature. So make sure that you have an attorney that is actually knowledgeable about the music industry, and that's what their forte is, and that's what they do. All right, so I'm gonna go to the chats now. Yes, thank you, BK. I did mean Sound Exchange, so thank you for that clarity. I was talking about, and I'll be talking fast, so Easy Cash 860. When you are offered a contract, are you supposed to sign right there, or can you get legal advice and come back to the table? Always come back to the table. When you are given a contract to sign, you never sign right there, because oftentimes contracts, listen, man, contracts are thick, and it deals with a lot of legalese, legal jargon, things that you can't comprehend. You know what I mean? Even if you didn't have an attorney, you know, pick up a dictionary or pick up Black's Law, and then go to those words and then define them. You know, just define what they are, because most contractual words are actually transcribed from, I think, Roman and some Latin, and then Old English. And so they have a definitely different meaning once translated to American, because we think we speak American or English when actually we speak American, because American is a bastard language. And so in order to understand contracts, you need to go and get a Black's Law dictionary and define the words in it. So yes, you do not sign right there, even if pressured, even if you think, you know, I may lose this opportunity, lose it. Go get you an attorney, and or at least give yourself time to read over that contract. And I'll tell you something. Anyone that offers you a contract should expect nothing less. Okay, they should expect nothing less, because you could sign a contract like my man Mike from 112. Mike, 112 Mike. You guys are familiar with 112 for your old heads. Stayed with us in California for a while, and we worked on several projects with them, and there was a whole 112 trying to get back reunion thing. And one of the things that he talked about was, oh man, I don't even know if I should talk about. Well, yes, I can talk about it. The perpetuity clause that Puff Daddy, Bad Boy, put him under. And so their contract was consistent. I mean, even though they were off of Bad Boy, how the contract was worded was perpetuity, which meant whatever stipulations was put in there had no ending date and time. So if it was about, which one of the things he gave, he could not talk about what happened there, what he personally saw, whatever it may have been that I do know about, forever. He just couldn't share that with anyone and couldn't make it public. And come on, that's someone literally controlling your life for the rest of your life. You understand? If he wanted to put out a memoir about his experience with Bad Boy, he couldn't do it because of the perpetuity clause. So yes, be very careful before signing contracts, okay? And Mark J. Music, you're absolutely correct. He says 9 out of 10 times, if they're rushing you to sign without legal advice, it is sketchy. I'll just be honest with you. Okay. All right, and DLR Music, he put up a reference for you guys. He put up some powerful information, actually. He said, check out Song Trust if you all need a publishing administration, which came from someone mentioning that it's free for publishing companies to sign up with BMI. Okay. Now, Dreback said, do I publish my instrumental tracks before I let an artist, rapper sing on it? You can. it won't hurt you, because here's what happens. Most artists and rappers know that you're more than likely, especially if you are an experienced producer, they know that you've already been or started shopping the music. Okay, so you publishing your music, well, let me give you one better. You know what I mean? It would be unwise if you not to actually publish your well, let's define publishing, because I want to be clear. When you're talking about publishing is actually allowing your music to be heard online versus, you know, actually filing or registering with your PRO or something completely different. But if you publish your music online, which could be anything defines publishing music, and I don't mean that in a broad terminology as anything, but when you put your music online on your website, that's it being published. When you upload it to YouTube, it is being published. Anything of that nature, it's being published. Um, you might be shopping, like a lot of the producers who got placement with us. You might have shopped your tracks for the purpose of getting license or sync licenses for a commercial TV show. You still can sell that track to an artist or musician. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, it works even better from the marketing standpoint, especially if that music was sold or sync licensed to a major company, Ford, Chrysler, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, anything like that, because now most people have heard it and subliminally will automatically connect to it because they've heard it, because it was already published on a major level. But yes, you can publish it. It's recommended that you publish it. And again, understanding what publishing is actually is, when you look at the root of what it is. When you release that music in any type of platform, it is considered published work. Easy Cash 860, you're more than welcome, and thank you for tuning in. And again, guys, share this video, man. If you know people that needs this information, man, share this video, guys. Don't be the producer that don't want to share this information and let people know that we're giving out this information, because a lot of people don't have it. And there's only quite a few people that, like I said, that I respect, that actually give you guys some real tangible, you know, information. And so it's very rare, you know, that you can find people like myself that is sharing this information that you need. You guys really need it. So make sure you share this particular video. And again, I'm gonna give you a couple more minutes to ask more questions while we're on this live chat. No matter what it is, ask whatever question you need to ask while we're here, so that I can help you guys in whatever situation or something that you might have needed understanding on. Okay, so Bach said he was talking about BMI. Okay, so yes, you know what I mean. If you plan on at any point in time, Dre, sending your music to anyone to listen to, and you have a tentative title, meaning that this title that you put on your particular track, and you think it's going to be licensed under that title, then yes, still, you know, make sure that you send it to your performing rights organization so that they can register it, and then try their best to seek this music out and then give you the money that you feel will be owed later on. However, though, don't send them music that you don't plan on releasing. That defeats the purpose. Now you're asking them to look for music that don't exist in any genre or any platform at all. It's not there. It can't be referenced. So if you have music that is just, it's not online, so they can't reference it online. It's not on a YouTube video, so they can't reference it on YouTube. It's nowhere, just on your hard drive, then don't send that to BMI or ASCAP. That's a waste of their time, because their job is to go and seek the money and the royalties that you are due because that song has been published and placed somewhere. So if you're not going to make your music available, or you have not sold your music to anyone, then do not file it under your society, songwriting, composing, your performing rights organization. Okay. Okay. So Ezra Luel, hopefully I pronounced that right. Or yeah, Leo. That might be it. And if I fucked it up, please forgive me. However, he says, can you make a song on a free type beat and publish it unmonetized and not get in trouble, even if you give the producer credit? Example, produced by producer. So if I mean, you know what I mean, if you're not making money off of it, if I'm understanding what you're asking, in other words, if you make a free type beat and you're not monetizing it on YouTube, and you give the producer credit, there shouldn't be an issue. However, now, I mean, if you got to give a producer credit, are you reproducing the track the way it was, or are you completely stealing it? You know what I mean? That's the question at this point. You know, if you're just completely ripping off the track and you're only adding a you know, a couple of drum loops on top of it, you know what I mean? That makes a difference. But if you're not monetizing it, there's not an issue. You won't get a copyright strike. You won't get any claim because it's not being monetized. Now, if that producer found out, that's something completely different. But again, it will be based on if you are making a type beat, which is what you said, or are you stealing the entire beat? Okay, so I hope that helps. Mims Beat asks, oh, what's up, SG? What's up, Mims? Just want to know if website, Music Millionaires website, has contracts I can use for my own website for non-exclusive and exclusives. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we do. We do have contracts in there, and it should be in the contract section of the website. And what I would suggest you do is pre-fill the contracts in. Or if you can do, if you, depending on what kind of website you're using, whether it's like WordPress or something like that, what you can do is you can use a terms and agreement plugin and then just put terms of agreement inside of each track before it's purchased. Okay. And how that works is when they sign up to your website, their IP address can be logged, their user information can be logged, and it be binding. Okay, if you have that as a template to your website, so that when they purchase a beat, the terms and agreement, whether it's exclusive or non-exclusive, is already listed for them, and when they click on they agree, that's a digital signature and binding because they clicked on it. Or you can just take the old school way and do a pre-filled in PDF form or pre-filled document, you know, making sure you put your company information and name, you as a producer at the top, blah, 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 and then leave it blank for them, and or however you want to do that. And then put in a PDF form, have them sign it, digital sign it or whatever, and then send it back to you. But there's other ways you can do it. All right. All right. Thank you, Ezra. So Ezra basically says the track stays exactly the same. I'm just rapping on it. And yeah, you pronounce my name right. Thank you so much. Okay. Well, yeah. You know what I mean? If you're rapping on it, you're not monetizing it. You just, you know, it's like doing a cover song basically without using somebody else's lyrics. That's the easiest way I can say it. You're taking a track, you're doing basically a mixtape. And if you didn't catch the last video I did, which I think I just made it available, you should have no problem with that now because the industry is changing in such a way that you basically can take samples now or mixtapes the way DJs were doing it and use it, and then the record label still gets paid and there's no harm to no one, you know what I mean? But from what your example is, you're basically doing a mixtape type situation where you're taking a beat that was already produced by whatever else artist, and in this particular case, a free type beat, and then you're just rapping on it. No problem, bro. Do it. You know what I mean? As long as you're not trying to make money off of it, you know, which now requires licenses, there should be no problem at all. But again, if you're in doubt, look it up. You know what I mean? However, I'm pretty sure you'll be safe, especially with uploading it to YouTube. Rain, female producer. That's what I'm talking about. All right, finally, we got a female producer in here. Rain. All right, and Rain has a question. As producers, do we need to clear samples before selling beats, or is that the responsibility of the purchaser / artist? Thanks. More than welcome, and thank you, Rain. It's your first time here, and thank you for joining us. All right, so I've covered this in previous videos, but I'm going to cover it again for you. Real simple, you know what I mean? Real simple. There's several ways you can go about doing this. And I wouldn't recommend doing it if you don't have, I wouldn't recommend the first option if you don't have finances, which is clearing a sample before it's even placed, okay? How do you know that sample is going to get placed? Why waste money on something that you know isn't going to get placed? Okay, that's the first statement in question, all right? So I wouldn't do it, all right? Excuse me, guys. Okay, so I wouldn't personally do it, Elon Lee. I wouldn't personally spend money on something that would not guarantee me having clearance, or that I would not be sure that not clearance, but I'm not sure that I would actually be placing. So don't spend the money on that. But what you can do is, depending on who you're selling the music to, you can negotiate your fees and or points on the back end based on allowing them to clear it, and then you taking the latter or taking, the fee off on the back end, so that they are duly compensated for something that you are technically responsible for, which is making sure that there is a clear and a clearance on the sample. So it's just about being creative. You know what I mean? You can be creative and get it done. You just have to think about what is going to be feasible for you financially in the long term or long run, and or if you're able to financially clear that sample at that particular moment. And I apologize for stuttering, but hopefully I was clear. All right. Okay, so Ezra Llewell says, all right, thank you. I'm just trying to build a fan base through rap. No doubt, brother. I appreciate you being honest, and I appreciate your questions, because hopefully this helps somebody else in the long run. And your question truly was a realistic question. You know what I mean? It's a good question. I'm glad you asked. Along with Rain, the female producer. You know what I mean? I'm pro my sisters, man. I like to know that the women, you know what I mean, the women are producing, you know what I mean, because they are definitely underplayed and not giving the respect as female producers. And I've heard some banging producers. And you're more than welcome, Rain. Now, guys, if you have no more questions for me in this live session, I'll end it. You know what I mean? I'll give you a couple more minutes to ask questions, and I'll do a couple of rambling. But again, if you haven't already, make sure you guys go and step by. Make sure you go by Music Millionaires website and sign up. And if you don't do nothing else, click on the bell. When you go, there's a little bell in the left-hand corner, so you can get push notifications. And the reason why we're doing the push notifications is because the servers are tripping when we send emails out. So that's why a lot of you haven't been receiving the emails. The servers have been tripping. But with the push notification, it goes directly to your phone or your desktop, and it lets you know that we have some important information for you, such as new placement opportunities, we're dropping new videos, or we're coming to your town. Oh, and by the way, need you guys to comment before I get off here. Need to find out, we in recent development with YouTube, here's what is going on now. You know, of course, guys, that we make money off of YouTube through the ads, and YouTube has been going through a ton of different changes since the whole, racist YouTube videos and advertisers pulling back because they were supporting um, uh, what's the best word to say, YouTube channels that possibly were hate groups and things of that nature. Let me get to my point. So, we in agreement with Amazon, and we're going to be pushing out Amazon series very soon. But what I wanted to know was, how do you feel about us moving our platform partially to Amazon? In other words, when we do pre-recorded videos, there'll be basically two parts. Part one would be here on YouTube. The other part would be on Amazon. And what that does for us, we're not limited because of our agreement with Amazon the way we are with YouTube. Because as it stands right now, even when we do these live videos, YouTube used to just publish them automatically. Now they unlist the video so you guys can't see it immediately. And then we have to go back and then list it. And if they feel like I'm cursing too much in the video, they won't monetize it, which means we make absolutely no money from doing the videos. So tell us what you think by the chat session, and also tell me what you think in the comment section below if this video is allowed to even be on YouTube because it's so long. But tell me what you think. Should we push portions of our series on our information onto YouTube? Amazon. And if I'm not mistaken, you can get an Amazon account for free. All right, you know what I mean? It's a free account. You can get it, or you can get a Prime account, and you'll be able to watch the video. So it won't cost you anything to create an Amazon account to watch the videos. However, Amazon is a little bit more friendly, and I might be just a little biased right now because we have this big rollout shortly with Amazon on our new TV series. All right, guys. Well, look, it looks like you have no more questions for me inside of the chat. So if that being the case, you know what I'm going to say now, which is music is life, and we out. Appreciate you guys for watching, and make sure you stay tuned for the next videos. You say bye-bye? You say bye-bye? Say bye-bye. No? 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 You don't say bye? Hmm? Oh, well, we can't go just yet, can we? I'm sorry. As he was waiting, that was perfect timing. So one last question I'll take before getting off of this. Dreback says, uh, I heard DJ Payne once say that he had a placement with an artist, and later on he played that song on his YouTube channel and got flagged by YouTube. How is that possible? Real easy and real quick, real simple. The reason why that is possible is because when DJ Payne got that placement with that particular artist, he also gave them the rights, the mechanical rights, the sync rights to republish this music. And when he did that, they uploaded it onto their YouTube content as YouTube content. They became the owners of that copyrighted material, publishing it online. And because he came in later on and then published it, and it was already fingerprinted by that particular company, they're going to take it down automatically. What he has to do at that point is, if he wants to promote it, he needs to contact that particular record company or record label or that particular artist and let them know that he's trying to promote the music, and let them know that they have to go in and manually take down the copyright strike. But that's how it's possible. Once it's uploaded under a particular content provider or content owner, because he's getting active, so I'm talking a little bit fast. But once it's uploaded and fingerprinted by a particular person, it becomes their copyrighted material because YouTube puts that inside of the algorithm that identifies this particular person as the copyright holder. All right, guys. Peace and blessings. Now we out.